Hello Enchanted ones, and welcome back to my channel in this new year. I thought today I would show you a few simple DIYs and rituals to help harness your inner strength this winter and new year. Strength to help you through these cold months, through really fun, cheap and beautiful ways, so that one day when the time is right for you, you will be able to look within and find the strength to harness your ambitions. With the new year, I always feel there is so much pressure to achieve new goals and do so many things. But to be honest, I've never been able to do this. Instead, I harness strength to simply help me through. And this year, I'm going to bring you along with me. The reason why I feel a little bland this time of year is because when I take all the Christmas decorations down, even though I do love the freshness of it all and organising everything, I just feel a little empty. In fact, I am one of those people who recycle their Christmas and Yule decorations and have them up all year round. This year, I even turned my lounge into a little woodland scene with an empty Christmas tree. I also love to leave out my favourite Yule decorations, just to make the most of them until I am ready to let go. It is only then I begin to feel better. It is this stripped back feeling from red and green to white and black that makes this season feel a little bare to me. However, as I was packing away, suddenly it hit me, and it was standing right in front of me. I looked out of my bedroom window to see this majestic oak tree. I thought about how I was stripping my home of decorations, yet this tree had already stripped its leaves back to its bare skeleton. With these empty branches, it looks lifeless and sleeping. However, what lies inside this majestic tree tells another story. I had to then and there journey into the woods, and I did so with a completely different mindset. I saw the empty branches, but I also saw tiny bulges that were buds ready to burst with the sudden warmth of spring. I hugged these bare trees, thinking about the strength they have to keep going during these months. Strength from its waters and life within. Now I came home with an absolute surge of inspiration. I wanted to surround myself with this idea of the strength within. So I sat at my altar, ready to take in any inspiration that came over me. I started by adding a few drops of aroma oils to harness the strength, Mei Chang for an orangey, zesty burst of life, and sandalwood for a grounding, woody balance. My first task was to get all the picture frames from around my home that contained images of autumn, and with this new inspiration, I painted new pieces to get me into the winter mood. First, using black, brown and white, I drew the bare branches I saw outside. I also drew the majestic oak that stood at the bottom of my garden. To harness the power of these pictures, I painted inside the branches and roots gold. This gold is to represent the strength that lies within and will be such a lovely metaphor when looking at these inside my home. I also made the most of old holiday cards in which I framed and even brought out some stick tree holiday decorations that would now become winter decorations. Even this little oak tree. Remember him? If you'd like to make one of these, make sure to check the link in the description box. Now I could remind myself with this metaphor around my home, I also wanted to harness this strength that was flowing through these sleeping trees inside myself. And how did I do this? Simply with water. There is a theory about water in which it can take on emotions and energy that surrounds it, and I will leave these articles and documentaries below. The theory is, if you speak of kindness and love next to water, it will then take on this property. If you speak of hatred, well, you understand what I mean. Since we are made up of 65% water, surely this energized water can do a lot for us and our waters. I simply pour myself a glass of water and speak a positive affirmation. Then by drinking this water, I am taking on this loving energy I have put into it. It is such a simple, beautiful way to harness inner strength with the liquid and substance we need every day. But this doesn't have to be with only cold water. Why not simply go outside and embrace the cold with a mug of hot tea or water? I brought a mug of hot water to the secret swamp. I spoke to the water with a simple phrase, "I am enough," and blew the energy into the universe. There is something magical about evaporating hot water in the cold. To see the water evaporate around you is to see your affirmation manifest into the universe. Simple, free, and so effective. But remember, it does not have to be a drink. It could be a bath, and it can be such a caring experience. You could leave your waters completely simple and plain. However, into my bath, I poured a few drops of rose oil, lit candles, and surrounded myself with rose quartz and clear quartz, and this bath became a loving haven to help me gain my strength back. Now you have harnessed your strength within. What about the roots in which ground you? Is there anything that lies beneath the surface that troubles you during these cold months? I have a little friend who helps me with my worries, and her name is the Worry Fairy. When I am worried, I tell her my troubles and place her under my pillow to release these worries. To create her, I needed only 2 things: string and a small piece of fabric, or a mini pouch. I cut out 15 medium strands of equal-sized string and tied a knot 1/3 of the way down the length. The knot will be your fairy's head and the string above her hair. I then placed a paperweight onto her hair, and I took 3 strands from either side, plaited and tied these to form arms. I then divided the 6 strands left into 3 and plaited these, creating a thicker plait to become her body. Now take the middle strands and wrap them around your fairy, tying them in a knot around her body. And lastly, plait the strings left and right of her to create 2 legs. Now your worry doll is complete. She needs a little bag to contain your worries. I cut a circular piece of fabric, and within this I placed a little message. Your worries will be safe with me to help your mind be free. The next step is optional. I included in the pouch 2 crystals, obsidian to take away negativity and clear quartz to cleanse the negativity. I tied this pouch up with string, wrapped it around my beautiful new friend, and she was ready to help me. It was a little fiddly, but it was so worth it. I was extremely attached to her in the end. So that night, I tucked myself in and spoke to my fairy and the worries that concerned me. I placed her underneath my pillow and then looked over to the trees on the bedside table to help remind me of the strength within these trees this time of year, quietly sleeping on the outside, yet inside their waters remain strong to get them through this cold season. And very soon this strength I have created within will burst and shine bright on the outside. Good night. I hope this video has shone some light on the season that can be the most challenging. From my experience, the key to strength is caring for yourself and embracing the elements of the season, and then the will to do things may come a little more naturally. Please let me know what was your favourite idea and what works for you when harnessing your strength within. Just remember, Enchanted Ones, you are enough. I never thought I'd be doing this kind of scene.